Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I am your host, Jack Hammer, and today we have some hot rumors regarding 49ers quarterback Trey Lance. Now, it's been a topic all offseason with Lance and the 49ers quarterback position, but these rumors have to do with Lance being on the trade block or being traded. Now, these come from a single source who is not somebody that you're familiar with. It's on Twitter. He labels himself as an NFL insider who lives out in Cuba. Make of that what you will, but let's look at what he has said so far. There's been two tweets. There was one yesterday in which he says that the 49ers have been offered a conditional second round draft pick in the 2024 draft for Lance by the Atlanta Falcons. That's number one. Number two came out today. According to this same person, Trey Lance has gone to the 49ers and he has requested a trade, and Lance is requesting a trade to a team that needs a quarterback. He doesn't want to be a backup in San Francisco. He wants the opportunity to compete to be a starter. And the three teams, according to this source, that Trey Lance is reaching out to are the Atlanta Falcons, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington Commanders. Now let's get into all this. Let's start to break this down a little bit. I'll give you my thoughts as we go through it. Number one, the person who's doing this labels himself as an NFL insider who lives out in Cuba. His name goes by the name of CJ Golson. Make of that as what you want. Again, this isn't somebody we've heard of before, not somebody we've really seen really come up with any of these inside analysis before actually turning out. But he is saying that it's a second rounder from Atlanta to the 49ers, if that's what they've offered. And then also he's saying that Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Washington have all been names that Trey Lance has told the 49ers he'd like to be traded to. Now, a couple things on this, like I said. Number one, Trey Lance straight up told us during minicamp and OTAs that he is not looking to be traded, that he has not requested a trade from the 49ers. We'll take him at his word on that. Number two, when it comes to the 49ers, I don't see them being willing to move Trey Lance right now for a conditional second round pick. I just don't see that as something that they're going to be willing to do. Now, maybe down the road, later on during the season, as training camp starts to wind down, once they know that Brock Purdy is fully healthy, once they've seen Brock Purdy on the playing field, all those types of things might change. But as of right now, I don't think there's any way the 49ers trade Trey Lance before training camp starts. And let's just take a look at the teams that he mentioned. The Atlanta Falcons. Well, this one makes sense, and that's why I think a lot of people have looked at this and thought, well, there might be some validity to this. The Falcons, back in 2021 had the fourth pick in the draft, and there was a lot of people who had said that if the 49ers did not trade up to number 3, Trey Lance was going to be an Atlanta Falcon. There was a lot of interest in Trey Lance by the Falcons in the run-up to that draft in 2021. So from that standpoint, it makes sense. They've moved on, though, since then. Desmond Ridder was who they drafted. They've developed him for a year. They're looking to have him start this season, so they might be looking to stay on that path. Tampa Bay makes sense because they're in a little bit of an upheaval with Tom Brady leaving, Baker Mayfield taking over there, and so on and so forth. That's, again, another one that makes sense. The one to me that doesn't make sense is the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders, they drafted Sam Howell last year, started him the last game of the regular season, and everything that I'm reading, everything I'm hearing, they are very high on Sam Howell and what he brings to the table. Plus, Sam Howell played a lot of football in college, has a lot of experience, and that's one of the reasons I just don't see them wanting to move off of Howell for a guy like Trey Lance. Now, don't get me wrong, Trey Lance, tremendous player in terms of his measurables. That's why he was taken at number 3. Big arm, fast, has the size, smart guy, all those types of things. Deebo Samuel saying that just a couple of days ago on the radio. There's a lot of reasons to like Trey Lance, but for the Washington team, I think right now they have a guy that they feel they're comfortable with developing, and the guy that they really feel like they can move forward with in being Sam Howell. So I just don't see that being a fit for Trey Lance to go there. And like I said, when it comes to the 49ers, I just do not see them wanting to get off of Trey Lance at this point in time. They're still, like I said, we know Brock Purdy's coming along nicely in his recovery, but he hasn't been cleared yet. He hasn't been on the practice field yet. And I don't think in San Francisco, I don't think they are sold on Sam Darnold, despite what we're hearing from national media folks. I just don't believe that at this point they are as high on Sam Darnold as some people are saying. I could be wrong on that. We'll see as it plays out. And I think the 49ers understand the position that they're in. They have a quarterback room with Brock Purdy if he's healthy, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, that takes up less than most starting quarterbacks across the NFL alone, let alone the entire quarterback room. They're in a good position, and I think if you're the 49ers right now, you want to hedge your bets going into this season. You've been here now. This is the 7th season for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch in San Francisco. In their first 6 seasons, they haven't made it through a season, except for one time in which their quarterback made it through every game of the season, all 16 games plus the postseason. That was in 2019 with Garoppolo. But other than that, they've had quarterback injuries every year. And so I think they want to insulate themselves. They want to make sure they have the best quarterback room possible. And whatever you believe about Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, whatever the quarterback situation, I'm going to tell you that having Trey Lance on this team is better than trading him, unless you're getting a guy back that's really going to help your team, like a pass rusher or a right tackle. And I just don't see that happening either for the 49ers. So as far as this trade goes, as far as CJ Golson and his 49ers rumor with Trey Lance, first off, the trade scenario from Atlanta, and then Trey Lance actually requesting a trade from the 49ers, I don't think either of those are valid. Take it for what it's worth. Hey, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Do you think the 49ers are going to trade Trey Lance? Do you think Lance went to the 49ers and asked for a trade? How about the other side? Do you not think it? Let's hear both. Let's hear it from you. I want to hear it. Now, if you could do me a favor, though, before you leave, hit that like button. Also, turn on your notifications because you're not going to want to miss any of the updates that happen right here on Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. And last but not least, hey, if you haven't already done so, what's taking you so long? Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.